close to home? Or
It was, I actually, another funny story, but the answer to that would be, it was close to home. And the money actually, I mean, played a big factor. At that point, I didn't know a lot about debt or how to pay for that or plan for that. And so when I had to pay something that large out of pocket, I was just like, no, to like Ball State, what I was saying. But NKU luckily came along. I didn't know they were involved in the thing until they invited me to a camp at NKU. And so my summer league, I played, I don't know if I guess you could call it travel ball or summer ball. Our home field was at Thomas More College throughout high school. And so I'd go up there and play, and my summer ball coach was like, hey, the NKU wants to see you come to this camp. And again, I'm like, you know, I'm playing baseball, why do I need to go to a baseball camp? Like, I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, okay. And he's like, be there, let's say at 11 o'clock. I'm like, awesome. And so this Saturday morning, I'm driving down, and if anybody's ever been to the NKU field, the old, it's still their field, but the old road started at the top of the hill, and you kind of drove past the field as you went down, and you come into the parking lot. As I pull up to the top of the field, and I see 100 kids out there already doing drills, stuff like that, and I think I'm late. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna walk in here and I'm late, and they're already doing their drills and everything like that. And mind you, my mom likes to pick on me for this. My baseball bag used to be just grocery bags, plastic grocery bags. I put my cleats in there, glove in there, and that's my baseball bag. I just walk up. So I'm in shorts and a cut-off shirt with my grocery bags, walking up to all these kids in like full jerseys, full uniforms. I'm out of place. I'm like, again, what am I doing here? You know, just simple-minded me, I'm doing my normal stuff, and everybody else is like top gear, ready to go. And so I'm walking up, and I see my summer league coach. I was like, man, like, why didn't you tell me the right time? He's like, no, like, you're fine. Like, this is your time or whatever. And I'm like, you know, they're doing everything. They're like, you're not here for that. Like, you're just here to throw off the mound. I'm like, okay. And like, so I walk up, and then all of a sudden, it was crazy. And then they're doing their drills and stuff, and then they're like, oh, let's go, pitchers. We're going to the pitching mound. And I was the first one to go. The coach was sitting behind the screen. I threw, I don't know, 15 pitches. He's like, oh, that's enough. Didn't say nothing to me, just said, that's enough. My summer league coach comes up. He's like, hey, Nate, you're done. And I'm like, you don't want me to stay for the rest of the camp? Like anything else? I play positions? They're like, no. And so that was what I remember basically of the recruiting from NKU, was going there thinking I was messing up everything, and then to him calling and offering a full ride scholarship. I was like, I must have done something right. I don't know. But yes, before I keep babbling on about NKU, was there any other questions about Hamilton or not?
Yep. I wanted to ask about your parents' role in like your, you know, like bringing you up.
Yeah.
Was there any pressure from them to you, or?
I should have. I'm glad you brought that up, because I should have talked about that more. I talked about my always having somebody to play with my older siblings and stuff. But my mom and dad were awesome. Obviously, my dad was a construction laborer for 30 years in the union in Cincinnati. So he got up at 4:30 and he'd leave. But he'd be tired as all get out when he'd come home. But anytime I'd ask him, hey, you want to play catch? Hey, why don't you hit me some ground balls? Hey, why don't you hit me some fly balls? He'd be like, yeah. They never said no. There's never any pressure from them. I remember playing catch with my mom in the front yard. I remember the last time I played catch with my dad in the side yard, because I ended up hitting him in the ankle. And I was like, all right, maybe he can't see it as well now. And so I remember that last time that I played with him. But they played a huge role in getting me to all these places, and especially, my older siblings too, taking some time to get me to these ballparks and whatnot. And just last week, my sister, we were talking about it. She's like, you remember like when you started driving, like you were calling me to tell you how to get out of Florence. Like I didn't get out of the driveway that much, and so like I didn't even know how to get around Florence. But yeah, they played a huge role. Like I said, never pressured me, but they never said no. Like if I wanted to play, toss, hit me ground balls, they were there. And some other people that influenced me, and I wanted just to mention, in my Pendleton County time, was guys like Rick Wilson. he always had little league, potato league teams. He always, when our league was over here, we'd go over to Williamstown and Grant County, and we'd play. And so growing up all the way up until 6th, 7th grade year, when I was still in those pony leagues and stuff like that, I was always part of his teams. Coach Wainscott, Doug Wainscott, I had him from 6th grade on. All the way up to my senior year, we got a new coach, Coach Howard. But
Howard. Mr. Howard.
Yeah, Coach Howard, yeah. So Mr. Wainscott always did the fundamentals. Like, we always did fundamentals, always practicing, always working, always hitting. Guys like Josh Schultz, he was the JV coach at that time, kind of under Mr. Wainscott as well. And again, you know, matured us, helped us to kind of figure out what it took to be better as a team. That's where I started getting that concept of the team. But like, I'm thankful for those guys. I'm thankful for my parents, my family. I mean, they did a lot for me, that's for sure. I think there's one more question about Pelham County. Yeah.
Yes. So, when you were in high school, did you play other sports too, or just baseball?
Yeah. So yeah, we played. At the beginning, we talked about how we were well-rounded. I played golf in high school. I don't get to play much golf now, but I played golf in high school. They needed a fifth, and I was halfway decent from playing growing up. Played soccer all the way up until high school. Played basketball during high school, and played baseball. But yeah, me and Lacey, my wife, we talk about it now with our kids. Like, we don't necessarily want to go year-round one sport. You know, we want them to be well-rounded and give their body rest from that sport and then get on to the next one. We're about to be done with softball and baseball next week, and then in the fall we'll be playing soccer. But yeah, I tried to do it all and love doing it all, and hopefully our kids do too, a little bit. But was there any other little questions about them? Yeah.
Did any of your other brothers or sisters like play major league or?
No, they didn't. They played high school sports. My oldest brother played golf in college a little bit. But you know, we all played sports growing up. But none of them, I guess, made us past that level besides playing a little golf in college.